All right, we're looking at the drive gear and the shaft of a slotting head for a Steinel SH4. So this piece there. I bought the slotting head without the drive dog here, or the drive gear. It turns out that other than for the vertical head, this here is a standard gear that is, let me see, that is, I guess, module 2 and I don't know, diameter 70, so you can easily find out. That is a standard gear. Ah, there it is. 33. Module 2, 33. This I bought. The original is 18. This is 20, but it doesn't matter. The question was how to build an arbor and also how to make the connection between the gear and the shaft without a slotting head. So what I did is I bought a standard MK3 shank and I milled off these flats here with a carbide end mill. Then I turned this disc here that sits on here, which is then just glued on for further working on it on the shop. Unfortunately, at first time I glued it not so good, so the attempt to also mill off the small flats here to have enough room to go into the spindle, that worked not so well, so it looks ugly, but it still works. What I then did is I built a nut like this. At the beginning it didn't have this this hole in there, and this nut screws in here and forms a more or less continuous shaft to give rigidity to the whole thing. And there are two flats here that also went not perfectly this time. Nevertheless, it's a 36 key that you can put on there. And then I screwed it all together and put it into my mill. And I put just something, a little wire here in between the nut and the face here, so that that I can screw it tight, but that at the end, after having drilled the hole, the nut would turn another half turn. It's an M10 times 1 thread here, so 1 turn means 1 millimeter, and I had a ½ millimeter wire in between here. And then I drilled the hole, reamed it so that a dowel pin, 8 millimeter dowel pin, can fit in here. And yes, I know the bearing surface or the bearing amount is not a lot. It is this small piece here, but on the other hand, this is really a huge pin. And what I can still do, if I do not believe in it, I can still put some screws through here, but I doubt that this will be a problem, because I mean I am using this Steinel here. You see the mill. That was the setup how I drilled the hole, because there was not enough clearance. Z clearance is usually a problem with these mills. And I mean, I am not using it nearly to the amount how it was used to, how it was built. So the load that will be here on this gear and on this dowel pin that serves here as the connection between the gear and the shaft, they will be maybe 10 to 15% of what they are designed for industrial use. So I think it's fine. Maybe when I put it together, and because this is an assembly that usually you will not so much take apart, I will put in the pin, and what happens then is the pin drops all in it, and then you just have the hole here for nothing. You don't need it anymore. It was just for the sake of having full material to drill to, so that the drill bit would not wander off. And then you put the dowel pin in, and then you lock it in place, because the nut turns about half a turn further and cannot and does not allow the pin to drop out. Yeah, that is after some time my project of the day here. Well, as you can imagine, I had to try the slotting head on the mill. This is the gear. It mounts good. Let's try to put the slotting head on. Hopefully it's not, well, it's a little lighter than the vertical head. This is why I built for the vertical head here, this thing, especially to mount it. Let's see if the slotting head is simpler to mount. We will see. Okay, it works. The gear is working silently. The machine is not running quick. What I discovered is how you actually adjust the stroke. So what you do is you go in from here with the wrench 19. You loosen. You have to turn the spindle so that it aligns with the nut that is in there. And you loosen it a little bit. Then you go in here from the side. You turn it by hand coming from the stroke down up to 0, and then you have access to the screw that actually is the same as the drawbar, 10 millimeter 4 square, and then you can adjust the stroke, and then you retighten this thing here again, and then you can run your slotting head. It's the first time I see it in action, so I'm pretty excited. And I have to think about some projects that I will do with this, but for sure there's a key that I have to build with this thing. So pretty cool.